Hello, everybody, and welcome. My name is Olivia Carto. I'm the new e-resources specialist, and I'm going to be talking to you about e-journal searching and access today. And if you need to get in contact with me, my email is right here. Feel free to do so anytime if you have any questions. In this webinar, we're going to learn how to search in various different access points through the library page. We're going to look at the library homepage, e-journal search, A to Z databases, and the library catalog. Our other learning objective is to search by e-journal title, article title, subject, name, and that could be basically any name associated with any work or journal article that you're looking for, through database or through vendor. And I doubt a lot of people are going to look through vendor, but since it's an option, I wanted to share that with you anyway. Let's see. What is an e-journal? An e-journal is an electronic journal. It's an electronic resource or a version of a serial or a journal. It's available in a digital format, often full text and with citations through different databases. And some e-journals are even born digital, which means that they were created for a digital format and are not versions of print materials. A serial is the print version, basically, of an e-journal. It's content that's published serially. Could be a journal as well as newspapers. It's only available in print and often has digital versions published as well when the print version comes out. And sometimes these serials don't have electronic counterparts. So if you, for example, if you're looking for a journal in the catalog, some journals don't necessarily have digital versions of those. So that's something to keep in mind when you're doing searching. A lot of them do, probably most of them do. The ones that don't are often just very specialized, and you would need to actually go into the catalog and try to find that. Okay, some other terms. A proxy prefix is how students and faculty can access library materials and databases from off campus. And proxy servers act as intermediaries between you and the content you want to access. And it lets you go through a single access point, which is basically your single sign-in. And that's used to verify UNCSA credentials. And you can do that by signing in with your UNCSA EDU or Artis UNCSA EDU email and your password. And that's how you get to content that is only accessible through the library. Open access content is content that you don't need a proxy or a library login to access, and I'll show you a little bit about that when we go into the A to Z databases. We have a good amount of open access databases as well, and there's some good content on that, but mainly what we're going to be looking at is proxied stuff that you need to basically sign in to see. And we can get to that right now, actually. So to make this easy, let's go to a page. All right. And one thing that's great about our homepage is it's really easy to find. And that'll take you right to our homepage. All right. And first, I wanted to show you how to search via just basically the basic search right here. And we'll go through various other ways to search in just a minute. So to start off, I'm going to do a search for a journal. We're just going to pick a journal to search for. And this is British.
We have someone here.
Okay.
I'm going to let Brian in.
Got it. All right. And okay. Should I wait for them to come in? All right. Okay. And doing a basic search. it's going to take us to our page, which is going to show you all kinds of things related to that search title. And that doesn't differentiate between what the journal is or anything like that. So you would, if we also have Sight and Sound right here, which is just basically our print version of that journal. But if we're looking for articles within the digital journal, we'll need to refine our search a little bit. And so the way that we're going to do that is we can look for journal article. And this gives us a whole new set. And since this is such a general search, we would need to probably refine our search a little bit and do magazine. So I believe it is a magazine. And that isn't working. This worked a lot better when I was doing it before. All right, let's define our search a little bit. Let's go and search something by subject and see if we can find things that way. We'll do the Sight and Sound search again when we do our eJournal search, and it'll be a lot easier that way, because since this just searches basic keywords, then it's a little bit more difficult to be specific unless you make your search very specific in that way. So to start off, since we're talking about film, we could just do something simple like the biggest horror hit of the season last year, Midsommar, and see what we can find about that. And there's a few articles about here. Let's see, maybe we should unclick this, and so we can search by subject. And yeah, then we have some articles about Midsommar film and different titles related to that. So basically, you have the if it has this right here available online, full text online, then it is accessible. You can also look through the preview right here, and it will give you the website, the database that you can find it on. But for now, we're just going to click on here and see where it takes us. All right, and yeah, and here we have the full text for this article, which is pretty great. You also have the ability to save as a PDF. You can cite the resource, you can email it to yourself, you can print it, and you also have these other options here, which are a host of other things that aren't just on that small menu. So you have all kinds of abilities relating to that article. You can keep the article, you can just read it online, anything like that. And it also has related articles here, which are also having to do with that. You can also search by subject, location. It shows you all the things that come up when looking at that. And you can then go in here and search these people, this, Sweden, or motion pictures in themselves. It also shows you which databases would have that, which you could choose from regarding that kind of content, or that are available to use through ProQuest. So let's go to, you can get into kind of a deep, a lot of these are just, they lead to other things, which lead to other things, and you can find a lot of great content that way if you just have time to like browse a little bit. And that works very well. Okay, and let's go back to the start. And now we're going to search the eJournals, electronic journals, and I'll show you how that takes us to that page, but it's easy to refine your search a little bit easier using this search. Okay, so this is great because you can browse by subject, or if you know what it this begins with, you can also, if you have an ISN or ISSBN, title equals or begins with, you can search all that way. So we'll start with doing a browse, and we can look for film. And here it's going to list all of the film journals that we have access to, as well as various websites that have the content and what content they have. You can look up specific articles. You can search within a lot of these journals as well. And you have the ability to, let's see, we'll just click on one of these and it'll take you right to their website. And then you can even search within that as well. You can search by year. All of this is available. And within that, you can look at all the articles that are in that issue. And if you wanted to look for something specific in a article, in a journal, without actually going to the website itself, you have the ability to do that as well. And I'll show you, we're going to use the same example that I showed you before, it was a little more difficult to find. We're going to do Sight and Sound. And that immediately comes up. So we now know that that is available through all of these databases for these various years. And we can also search within that. And so we were looking at Midsummer. So we can search that. And here we'll go back to the page that it had taken us before, but instead of just having a basic basic search for Sight and Sound or Midsummer, we now have all of the titles that are from Sight and Sound that have to do with Midsummer. And so it definitely narrows your search a lot more and it makes it a lot easier to find things using the eJournal search because you can be very specific in what you're looking for and narrow things down a lot. And one of the great things about a lot of these is that you can, well, it has like articles like this. You also, I can't really find it at the moment, but it also has the ability to translate various things that you're looking for. So for example, if you were looking at an article and it had the ability, like for one example, one of these articles was in a different language, you can also translate things from that as well. I can't find, of course, the original example that I was going to show you, and I'm not really sure why, but it is there, and you do have the ability to do that. Might be this one. Here it is. So yeah, as long as because you have the full article here again, but it is in a different language, but you can translate, which is a very cool tool. As long as you know the language that you're translating from, it'll translate it very well. And then you have your whole article that is translated into English. And you're able to do that regarding basically all full text articles that you find that are in that kind of format. So if you need something in a different language, if you want to translate it, that is available for you, which I think is pretty neat. So going back, you can also search by subject regarding our basic search. So let's see, going back to, going back to our basic search, You can search by like a subject, like horror movies, or you can search by a person, like we do Ari Aster, and you would come every single time you would come up with different things related to that. And all of this on here gives you options to, if you're looking for movie reviews, that's there. Any kind of things that can help you refine your search are going to be helpful when finding these articles. And let's see. Okay, so let's go back to, and getting to the eJournal search, I'll do that again so you can see it, is you go to our classic catalog link, and that'll take you to this menu. And you have a lot of options here. You can get to our database here, which I'll show you in a minute, and then electronic journals. All right, and as I said, we can look through, let's do dance. Okay, and again, this shows you all of the dance eJournals that are available. And okay, and we'll look up. And it comes up immediately. And again, you can either click on one of these databases to search, and it has all the years, and look for journals that way. Which leads me to the next way that we are going to search things, which would be through a database search, which is very helpful if you are not sure what journal you're looking for, but are looking for subject or author or a lot of other kinds of things besides the title of a journal or an article. This is our A to Z database page. It is also findable through our library homepage and then through the catalog link and that menu on the bottom. And you are able to search much in the same way that you can search the eJournal search through first letters, or also you can do by subject, which is a lot more extensive, or you can do by database type. So if we're looking for journal articles, databases with journal articles, we can look there. You can also look up vendors. So if you know something is available on JSTOR, you can look at it through that, or NC Live, etc. Or you can also just do a search, a basic search. So any of these are possible. And you can also have multiple drop downs while searching. So you can do filmmaking, and you can do journal articles, and there's Patrick, and you can do, we don't care about the vendor, but we now have these two options. Don't really know if we need to do much of a search beyond that. So it's really great because then this is a fantastic, this is a great resource. And then you can search within this. So let's search for a film, like Dolly related to film. And a lot comes up here regarding the film he made in the 1920s. And again, if you click on this, it is in a different language, but you are able to translate as well and get that full text. Again, with related things, all that is available. And a lot of these articles are ProQuest, and they have the same kind of format. Another format that is different, even though a lot of these formats will be much the same, even though they're a little bit different. And also when you're doing a search, be sure, if you want to clear your search, to go to Clear Filters and browse all databases. And that will take you back to the beginning where you don't have any filters selected. So let's see, we could search, let's look for JSTOR, since that's what I mentioned. And I'm wanting to show this to you because it is a little bit of a different, it looks a little bit different than the ProQuest articles that we've looked at before. So we have, where is that? Oh man. JSTOR.
JSTOR is under Ithaca.
It's under Ithaca. I knew that. I didn't know that. Here we go. Thank you, Kim. Still learning. All right, and so as you see, JSTOR is set up a little bit differently, but it still has that search in there. And since JSTOR is a basic, it's a more broad of a database, there's a lot of information you can find in here, which is across a lot of different disciplines. So if we search DALL-E in this, we might get a lot of other kinds of articles. For example, we have like a lot of his art up here. We have articles about him and not necessarily related to film, related to art, all this kind of stuff. So it's a much more broad kind of database, but you still, if you notice, you still have the ability to basically have the same options that you had with the other database. You can download, you can save it, you can cite, you can search more, you can refine your search, you can look by publication date and subject, all kinds of different things which will help you figure out what it is exactly that you are looking for, to find what you were looking for. And all of that is really helpful, especially if you have an idea of what your subject is, but are looking for articles regarding that subject and don't have any specific journals or articles in mind. So that is a good place to search. The database search is a great place to do that and just utilize those materials because they can definitely help you get to a point, a good starting point. Okay, let's see. So I've gone through databases. And all right, so the next way to search is we can look through the library catalog. And first off, because, you know, a lot of our serials that we have are not, they are accessible. They have eJournal versions of them, but a lot of them are not accessible through the catalog because they are accessible through the databases themselves. And so when searching for through the catalog, please keep that in mind. So a lot of the things that you'll be able to find in the catalog will be for journals that we have express subscriptions to. So that being said, here are some journals that will show up. So we have Film Quarterly. And you can do a search via keyword. You can do journal title, subject. So we'll just do journal title. All right. And this is the link for what we have in the library. We also have a link here for ways that you can access it online as well. So this is very helpful because not only do we have it in print, but we also have access to it via the web. And again, you can browse issues, and going back as far as 1945 to 2020, and it's the same kind of idea. And from there, you can find various articles. You can also, from that page, you can search. So if you wanted to find something, let's see, for content, all content, you can't find out purchasing, but so that's available. I believe, let's see. Right. And then you have all of the articles in here that have to do with DALL-E, and if there are any. And so it will go through all of those as back as 1945. and give you the search results for that. Again, I think it's pretty much most of the time on the left side of the page. There's always options for refining your search. So if in doubt and you can't find what you want, just remember to look at the left side of the page and check various boxes or get more specific regarding what you're looking for. Let's see. And this is just like a very quick kind of going through everything. And I can be more specific with a lot of things if anybody has a desire to, for me to. But that's just a basic kind of search. And we're going to go back again. And another thing that's great is you can always click on this and go back to our homepage. Some other great resources. We have this for faculty link right here. And this will take you to our toolkit that has various resources for you. It has search tool access and links. We have educational resources available. You can also enter a library loan. It tells you how to access online journals. So go to the classic catalog, look for things, basically the same kind of thing that I was talking about today. And as well as like remote access to electronic resources. And all of that is a great like source that you can look at that goes through a lot of what I've been talking about, as well as what a lot of people have been talking about for their other webinars that they've been doing. Okay. Yeah. And then another, oh man, I have too many tabs open. Another web tool, another tool that's important is good when you're working remotely, which has been really great for COVID, is this page as well. And this has a lot of great things. It has the proxy prefix that I was talking about on here, and ability where you're generating your proxy prefix. You can look at all of our recorded faculty trainings. You can, there's a lot of information here. And all of this is really helpful when looking at how to access materials that we have available. Sorry. And I think in general, unless there's any questions, that's a lot of what I have for you. I could go through more examples if you would like, or you can contact me or anything like that. And I have my slides will be available as well. I also have all of these links available to you also that are there are things that I went through in the presentation. And again, here is my email address if you would like to contact me. Are there any questions to start? I'm going to stop sharing now. No questions?
No, I think we might be done.
Awesome. Okay. Thanks, everybody.